So we've been digital nomads for about 3 years now, and we think this is a lifestyle that everyone should have. No, not everyone. It's not for everyone, but we hope that in the future this is a lifestyle that more people will experience, because we feel like there's a lot of gatekeeping and a lot of things that people don't talk about the digital nomad lifestyle. So we're going to go through a few different questions that you may be wondering about how to become a digital nomad.
I think people really want to know about like getting into this space, so I think of a lot of people who are kind of at home and they're working a job that maybe they like or they don't like, or they just want change. They want something different, especially from their environment too, which I think is a big pro of being a digital nomad. So in terms of people's skills, what skills do people actually need to become a digital nomad?
So what skills do they need to get into the space?
Well,
I think a lot of people actually have the skills that they need.
Okay.
And they are fully capable of getting in the space, but it's really intimidating. Okay. And not having information online, this is really, really challenging. So that's why I'm glad we're talking about this, and we'll continue to talk about it. So as for digital skills, I think there's so many different skills that you can do. As for skills, I think there's so many that you could have, whether you're consulting or you're a programmer doing digital design, literally anything, even communication. So we're English teachers, and really we have many skills, but when we started, our only skill was that we taught English. We spoke English. That was our skill.
Sure. Yeah.
And I think even starting with that simple skill or knowing one program, I think nowadays digital skills can be broken down and niched down, and you don't realize with just this one skill, you could freelance with that. You could get on Fiverr with that. Yeah. You could really become an expert in that niche industry. Do you agree? How do you think that people can get into the space?
No, I totally agree. So I think, look at what skills you have and ask yourself the question of how can I leverage that skill? So whether you are a high school student, or you're going to graduate this year, or you've already worked for 5-10 years, or however old you are, it's what have I been doing, what skills have I been building, and how can I go digital? Basically, I think it's going from whether you commute to work or you work for a business, but it's how do you take your skills right now and go digitally? So whether that's utilizing a platform online, or whether it's creating your own website, or whether it's just looking at remote work online, if you want to work for an employer, it's just how do you bring your skills online? That is that's the transition. So, and I think that's what maybe a lot of people are a bit intimidated by, especially if they don't think of themselves as techie people, because I think when you think of digital nomad, the first 3 jobs you think of is finance, tech, and UI design.
Yeah.
Those are the first 3 I think of, and they're very tech focused jobs, and that's why the transition is it's a lot easier. But if you're say a real estate agent, or you just work in the community and it's more in the local town, maybe that's harder, but it's how do you connect with the community online that you already connect with?
Yeah, and definitely not all jobs are able to be remote, of course, but I think nowadays and in the future, more and more businesses are going to try to go remote, or be forced to adopt a more remote work option or something. And I think you made a good point when you said you can work for an employer. I think we always kind of assume that digital nomads are self-employed or entrepreneurs or making 6 figures, and it's just not true. It's just not true. Digital nomads don't have to make crazy money. We don't make crazy money, but we're able to maintain this lifestyle through our routine and what we choose, how we choose to spend our money. So you can 100% work a normal job for a normal employer, and I think this will be a growing norm of just not this extravagant staying in 5-star hotels type. That's unrealistic and unsustainable anyways, but having this normal mid-level, maybe even entry-level remote job this is, as long as you have freedom of time and location, this is the most important thing. That's all you need.
Yeah. So you actually already answered the kind of second question that I was going to go with, which is about like, is it realistic for people to get into this space?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
Like you said, like people will watch a lot of videos, and it's like, you know, people are making 50K, 100K, 6 figures, and up. And it's so intimidating and daunting. But it's just like lots of social media platforms those are like the 1% of people. It's not the everyday person.
But they're the people with the techie cameras,
the followers,
the followers, the production value. Yes, they've been in the game a long time. And since they've been in the game for a long time, you haven't seen them grow. You don't know what they were like. That's why you gotta follow us. Because we are just starting out. And this is what I want more young people, or any age person that is interested in being a digital nomad, I want them to see. Because you don't need to be this crazy, I always say 6-figure business owner, but it's true, because I really do think that's what people think of the normal digital nomad is. And I just think there's a lot of gatekeeping and just unfair stereotypes that keep people from trying. So yes, I think it's totally realistic. However, the lifestyle that's perpetuated online is not 100%.
Would you say that you became a digital nomad by accident, or you purposefully pursued going digital and becoming a digital nomad?
I think we wanted to, but we didn't necessarily know how to get there. Like,
were we on the same page? Because as a couple, I think it's interesting for people who want to become digital nomads as a couple, as opposed to a solo.
Did we ever use the word digital nomad in conversation? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Because we did a working holiday visa in Australia and New Zealand, and we worked in restaurants. And then COVID hit, and we're like, no hospitality anymore. So we were forced to go online. But
it's not like we could do hospitality online.
Oh, yeah, of course. So we had to. No, I think digital nomad was always the end goal, because we were working on Valo. Like, we were working.
So we had a side hustle. Right?
Yeah, we wanted to be entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We didn't use the word digital nomad, but I think we always did want. We wanted to travel. We wanted to build a business. So yes, I think
the lifestyle very much, like, it was very natural.
Yeah.
It was a very natural process.
Yeah, and that's why I think that talking more about also working holiday visas and full-time travel and just traveling in general is a good gateway into digital nomadism.
Exactly, and that's a really good point. I don't think it's so much like you drop everything and you try to pursue becoming a digital nomad. It's like, what are the different like entryways into that? So that's visas, that's just start traveling first off, like a week here or there. Do you like that lifestyle? Get comfortable with it. Have a trial period, because
get lonely.
Sure. It's not always what people think it is.
No.
In what they see on social media or what they hear from friends, that's the highlight reel. But the reality of it is routine and systems and putting things in place that make you happy and having a good environment.
Yeah. And what makes it realistic is sustainability and having that sustainable lifestyle. If you think you're going to be working on the beach and drinking every day, you're going to be back home in a month. Because that's not a real life. That's, you're trying to be on vacation every day.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to happen. And then you're going to say, oh, this digital nomad lifestyle, it's fake. It's not true. It's just that what you've been sold is not true.
Yeah.
It's not real life.
Sure.
But getting somewhere, going grocery shopping the first night, making sure you have a full fridge, you have a comfortable Airbnb, housing environment, you have some coffee shops to go to, you have a desk in your bedroom. Like, these are the things that you need.
That's all good points, yeah. That actually brings me to what I think is an interesting point, which is like the challenges of being a digital nomad. So what do you think has been the biggest challenge for you as a digital nomad to overcome? Maybe you haven't overcome it yet, you're still dealing with this challenge, but if you could say what's been the hardest thing for you to deal with as a digital nomad, what would you say?
The hardest thing as a digital nomad is having such a different life from everyone I've ever known.
Sure.
And having that disconnect between friends and family, and also the little voice in the very, very back of my head saying, am I doing anything with my life? Like, what am I doing? What's going on? Are you just running around? And
self-doubt.
And I think that is supernatural when you live contrary to what society and social norms tell you to do. Because no one else is going to tell you, oh, you're doing great. I can't believe you're doing what you're doing. Thank God my mom does. Yeah. My mom's a big, my mom's my
Would you say you have cheerleaders?
Just my mom. But no one else, like we talk about this all the time, no one our age is saying, like, oh, that's so cool. No one's going to validate you when you're a digital nomad, unless you get involved in a community full of like-minded people, which is what I want to do lately.
Yeah.
And because it's important to have community, but I think this self-doubt and distance from the social norm, this is the most important part. What's your most important part? I mean, not important, I'm sorry. The most difficult part.
The most difficult part for me?
That was the question. Right?
That was the question.
Yeah.
The most difficult part for me, definitely the going against social norms. But I kind of see it on the other side of it is like you're kind of actually leading the way in the sense of being like an early adopter of like remote work. You know, people have been doing this for a long time, especially since people started blogging online and since the internet, but it's kind of getting more mainstream with the pandemic and remote work and flexi working, and there's all these different phrases now that people use, and you know, the 4-day work week's being tried. So I kind of feel like we're actually moving forwards with the times, as opposed to like thinking to need validation from people that have just worked the older way.
Well, you have a much healthier mindset.
Yeah, no, but different narratives. That's a huge conversation as well of how do digital nomads rationalize their jobs and the path that they're on, and how do they grow, and burnout will be a whole nother topic as well.
No, but I think you're right. It is exciting, but it's the most difficult to be an early adopter because you're right, you're not validated, and it's not cool, and it's not normal. It's cool to be an early adopter once it's mainstream.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
It's not mainstream yet.
Yeah.
It's not cool to be a digital nomad. Like, it's remote work still isn't the norm. I hope that it will be, because the flexibility of time and location and values, like it's incredible. And that's why I want to talk about it more. But right now it's not mainstream, so it's more difficult. But no, you're right, it is exciting.
Sure. There's always two sides to it. I want to go back to what you were saying about community, because I think a lot of people will think, especially if they have their own business and maybe they're not in a relationship or they're not in a couple. We've been very fortunate to always have each other. To be going abroad or to be doing a digital nomad visa on their own, how do you get involved in the community, and have you struggled with doing that?
It's hard. I think in the beginning, when we worked in Australia and New Zealand, they are very much, and we worked in restaurants, so it was easy. You have a community, like when you're working in like a restaurant. That's why I really would recommend, if you're 25 or under and you don't know what to do with your life, do a working holiday visa. Just go and work in a restaurant and have some fun, and that is your community. Also, staying at a hostel where you have your own private room and a desk, I would totally, if I had done the working holiday visa in Australia and I didn't have a partner, I probably would have thought that I would do Airbnbs, but that is isolating because it is really hard. So I would say nicer, and they do exist now, like nicer hostels with private rooms is the way to go. Yeah. But it's so hard, and I think I'm struggling a little bit now because I'm realizing I want to prioritize making friends a little bit more. But yeah, just downloading different apps like Meetup, although I feel like Meetup is shit. Facebook groups. There's a Digital Nomad Facebook group in Split that we communicated with a little bit. We went to a meetup. We met some people. They're really nice. But I feel like there's not a lot, to be honest. Like I used Bumble Friends. I met up with someone. She was really nice. So you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
If you're not in a place that is just a digital nomad hub.
Yeah.
Like we're looking at Barcelona now, and it seems like it's such a hot spot for digital nomads. So I really feel like that's going to be easier.
Yeah.
But if you're not in a place known for digital nomads going there, it is difficult. But I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. No, of course I do, and we're social beings. You know, having a sense of community. Having a sense of community is really important, but different types of people, depending on their characteristics and their personality, need a bigger or smaller group. I see it as like, if you look on the flip side of not being a digital nomad and you're someone that's just at home, you're in your hometown, you have the same friends, maybe you have a big friendship group, maybe you don't. You know, is it really much different in the sense that you still need to put yourself out there. You still need to connect with new people. Maybe you get a bit lazy because you've been in that town for a very long time, and maybe you haven't actually ever established real friendships. So it's still the same problem, but it's the effort. And maybe when you're in your town, you're just comfortable, and maybe you already have those connections or networks, so it doesn't seem as hard, and maybe you can meet friends through friends. But it's all digital now, and it's online, so it's out there, you can. Yeah. But it's just about you making those connections and making that effort.
I think it would be very hard for people that can't be by themselves, like can't enjoy their own company.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if you're someone who doesn't enjoy their own company, or like can't go to a cafe by yourself, or can't just entertain yourself, you got more problems than not being able to be a digital nomad. Yeah. But it's true, because I feel like you should be able to enjoy your own company. You're great. Like everyone deserves to be able to be alone with their thoughts and do whatever they want to do. I think it's really healthy and therapeutic. And these are the types of people, the ones that can enjoy their own company, that will be the best digital nomads. I can't. However, I would say also that those people that are comfortable being alone, sometimes they don't feel that they need to make the effort. This is me, totally us. So because we're very content by ourselves, and then we have each other, we literally don't feel like we have this yearning for social connection. Yeah. But now I'm just trying to push myself even more, because I know it's important and I do want it in the future. Yeah. But it's not this natural urge for me. Sure. But for a lot of people, I've been told, it is. Yeah. That's great. Like I wish I did have a bit more of that yearning for social connection. Yeah. And if you have that drive to be social, and you're able to be alone and be comfortable, I think like, oh my gosh, you'll be a killer digital nomad.
Yeah, I think you do need to be a person who likes the idea of challenges, because everything you do when you go digital, you become digital nomad, just you're traveling long term in general, everything's challenging. Learning a new language, getting
you don't have to do that.
You don't have to do that, but I'm sure a lot of people would like to. Just every little thing, going shopping and adapting to a new place. You have to be someone who can adapt and overcome challenges. So we've talked a lot about like challenges and different things, and I think we should just end on one more question. And the question that I want to ask you is, do you need to love travel to be a digital nomad? Like, do you need to be a traveler, someone who just wants to see every country, go to every place and explore the world? Or does it not need to be travel focused? Like, can there be another angle about like being a digital nomad?
Well, I think there's so many different definitions nowadays. Like, you can technically like be a digital nomad and not leave the US. Like van life, they're digital nomads. Sure. Like hopping around to different cities and places. Usually longer term stays you would say they're an expat, but no, if they work online, technically you're a digital nomad, and that's why digital nomad visas now, they're allowing a year stay, so they're not expats, they're digital nomads. So I think modern digital nomadism is allowing for lots of different definitions. So no, you can be whatever you want to be.
Many subgroups and different communities.
You can stay, like a digital nomad visa in many countries now allow you to renew for multiple years. So you could stay in one city for 5 years and technically still be a digital nomad. I think naturally people that do like to explore and travel, they are more drawn to this lifestyle. If you're interested in different cultures, living in new places, exploring, like naturally I think you'll just want to, but I don't think you have to. Do you agree?
No, I agree, because I think in the long term you don't want to live out of a suitcase. You don't want to be moving all the time. Like we've definitely found that like we like spending more time in one place and we prioritize that, and our environment's really, really important to us. And going forwards, we just want to stay longer. Like next year we want to do a digital nomad visa in Spain. So it's all exciting stuff and it's really cool, but I think it can cater to everyone's needs and what they want.
Or most people, some people.
So
it's not for everyone. It's definitely
it's
not
for everyone. No.
It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all solution.
No.
But it's super exciting, and we hope that more people will. We hope that more people will try it. Well, this has been the first of many different conversations about being a digital nomad, because we love this lifestyle and we hope that,
we're passionate about it.
More people will become interested in it and realize that this is an attainable lifestyle for them. And so we're really excited to talk about lots more things. And if anyone has any questions, like please send them to us.
Exactly. We want to build a community. That's part of what we want to do, and we want to inspire people, and we want to just start the conversation about being digital nomad and having a growth mindset, which is what we're also passionate about.
Because not just digital nomadism. We feel like being digital nomads, like we just said, it means maybe you're into travel, but you're into creating a different life for yourself, kind of pushing these social norms.
Which requires a certain mindset to be able to do that.
So that's why we're creating this community called Valo, and it's dedicated to, we're called followers, people that want to constantly improve themselves and develop a growth mindset in different ways, and really just encourage each other to become better people.
Cool.
Thanks for watching.
See you in the next video.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Okay. So we've talked a lot about like challenges and different things, and I think we should just end on one more question. And the question that I want to ask you is, do you need to love travel to be a digital nomad? Like, do you need to be a traveler, someone who just wants to see every country, go to every place and explore the world? Or does it not need to be travel focused? Like, can there be another angle about like being a digital nomad?
Well, I think there's so many different definitions nowadays. Like, you can technically like be a digital nomad and not leave the US. Like van life, they're digital nomads.
Sure.
Like hopping around to different cities and places. Usually longer term stays, you would say they're an expat, but no, if they work online, technically you're a digital nomad, and that's why digital nomad visas now, they're allowing a year stay, so they're not expats, they're digital nomads. So I think modern digital nomadism is allowing for lots of different definitions. So no, you can be whatever you want to be.
Many subgroups and different communities.
You can stay, like a digital nomad visa in many countries now allow you to renew for multiple years. So you could stay in one city for 5 years and technically still be a digital nomad. I think naturally people that do like to explore and travel, they are more drawn to this lifestyle. If you're interested in different cultures, living in new places, exploring, like naturally I think you'll just want to, but I don't think you have to.
No, I agree, because I think in the long term you don't want to live out of a suitcase. You don't want to be moving all the time. Like we've definitely found that like we like spending more time in one place and we prioritize that, and our environment's really, really important to us. And going forwards, we just want to stay longer. Like next year we want to do a digital nomad visa in Spain. So yeah, it's all exciting stuff and it's really cool, but I think it can cater to everyone's needs and what they want.
Well, most people, some people.
So yeah.
It's not for everyone. It's definitely
it's not for everyone. No.
It's definitely not a one size fits all solution.
No.
But
that's
it's
why
super exciting, and we hope that more people will. We hope that more people will try it in the future.
Yeah. And how do you want to end this? Like, shall I say thank you for this conversation, or like, do you have an idea?
No, you're not the interviewer.
I know. So like, how do you want to end it? Can we say like, hope this is helpful, like, or and how does think of a way to end?
Well, this has been the first of many different conversations about being a digital nomad, because we love this lifestyle and we hope
we're passionate about it.
More people will become interested in it and realize that this is an attainable lifestyle for them.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited to talk about lots more things.
Yeah.
And if anyone has any questions, like, please send them to us.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to build a community. That's part of what we want to do, and we want to inspire people, and we want to just start the conversation about being a digital nomad and having a growth mindset, which is what we're also passionate about.
Yeah, because not just digital nomadism. We feel like being a digital nomads, like we just said, it means maybe you're into travel, but you're into creating a different life for yourself, kind of pushing these social norms.
Which requires a certain mindset to be able to do that.
So that's why we're creating this community called Valo, and it's dedicated to, we're called followers, people that want to constantly improve themselves and develop a growth mindset in different ways, and really just encourage each other to become better people.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Thanks for watching.
See you on the next video.